we titled the show Tours of Duty in the Family Business because, you know, we each realize, and Kim, you really pointed it out, that, you know, being in and out, and Raj, you know, was in the family business, then the business is sold, you know, so there's many other people out there that, you know, the family business is, I think you said this, Kim, a season for them, right? There's different seasons and different times in their life. And I think it's important to talk about that a little bit because, you know, these things happen for us, not to us, to make us who we are and whatnot, but not every family member sees it that way. Would you agree with that statement?
I certainly would.
Do you want to take that ball and run with it a little bit?
I'm chuckling a little bit because actually where I get concerned, so about a third to half of the business that we do as a company at Solution Partners focuses on either family-owned, closely held, or some combination thereof. And actually one of my markers of concern is when people say to me, well, I've been with the business 32 years and I've pretty much done the same thing the whole time. And the thing that I would encourage somebody young and coming into the business is you can't do the same thing for 35 years and probably, you might be able to stay healthy, but you maybe have a better perspective if you could get some variety. So what's that season look like? What's that plan you have for professional development that has a 5 to 10 year window? Or are you going to look back in 40 years and say, yeah, this is pretty much what I've done all the time?
Gotcha. And for Raj, it was different for you where, like you said, you were, when you got your real work permit and started working there, that industry was a love for you all the way through. And even though the business was sold and you're not in the business any longer, that's still what you're doing. You're right.
I'm still doing it. Yeah.
But if you, can I just ask a question? You and I know each other well enough. Don't you look back, and I won't mention any of the decades we talk about and date us, but you know, don't you think you've grown a tremendous amount, like the industry has changed?
Well, for sure. I mean, it's completely evolved. I mean, I was going to also say, I wish, while I love the business and I'm still in it, kind of, I call it my Back to the Future nightmare that I'm in now. But I think my dad actually encouraged me to do this, and I just didn't do it. Working for another company way back when, I think would have been really valuable for me, just to see how other people did things versus the way that our company did things. And my dad is incredibly talented, a great marketing guy, and really good at what he does. It would have been good to see a different perspective of that. And that is one regret I do have looking back. And we can call it the dumb 90s, Kim, the dumb decade.
Perfect. It makes an awful lot of sense that, especially when you're young, that, and you're liking what you're doing, it's really easy to skip that step of taking time away from the business. That is, and working for somebody else. That is one of the keystones when we're working with family-owned businesses, that, we look at the employment policy and we hope by generation 3, that they put that employment policy in place and said, you must work someplace else so that you can, it does two things. One is it gives you that separate look of how another business is doing things, but you also may learn some really good habits that your family business hasn't implemented yet. And so you can also get good data and good information and good systems and processes and bring them back to the family business to help kind of, make them better, faster, stronger, right? So what do you